What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Countdown Scouting Network. I'm your host, Joey Garcia, as always, and today we are going to be reviewing the Cincinnati Bengals draft class and giving each pick a grade. So let's get started. Starting with their first round pick, they picked 28th overall. They got Miles Murphy, the edge out of Clemson. I gave this pick an A plus. I love Miles Murphy. I had him as a top 10 player, and he somehow fell to 28. I think that's because he is raw, and maybe he didn't really interview well. Maybe I don't know, but he's 6'5", 275 pounds. He can play all the way down the line, so you can line him up at edge, probably out there at a 7 technique, and I think you could probably get him all the way into a 4-eye, maybe to a 3. Slide him into a 3 technique um, on pass rush situations. But he's big enough, he's strong enough at the point of attack. Um, that I can see you playing him all up and down this defensive line. So he's very versatile that way. He is raw, but he's super athletic. You could teach him some pass rush moves, I believe. And again, he's just a guy that you can mold. I also heard that he's got high character reviews, which is outstanding as well. A guy that's going to be a leader on your defense for time to come. You don't have to worry about him not working in the offseason or him doing anything stupid in the offseason. So an A plus grade right here. I don't really know why he fell to 28, but good for them for being able to grab him. Their next pick was pick 60. I gave this an A minus. I thought this was a really good pick. It's DJ Turner. Um, I had him as an early second round grade. I had him as my 40th overall prospect. I think he was my cornerback like 6 or 7 or 8, something like that. But that's just because I thought there were a lot of good corners in this class. He's 6'1", 185 pounds. He's very versatile. You can play him at the nickel. You can play him outside. I think he's going to find a spot outside, if I had to guess. But in a pinch, you can play him on the inside. He's super athletic. And everything's technically sound. Everyone you talk to and everyone I've listened to about this guy so far that know DB more than I do just talk about his fluidity in his hips, his hand placement, his jamming at the line, him going in and out of phase, staying in phase is very technically sound through and through. The only critique that I have about him is just kind of watching him. He looks a little thin. I think he can put on 15, 20 pounds and not hinder his athleticism, especially when he's going to be having to go up against guys like DK Metcalf or George Pickens or name any other big athletic AJ Brown. He's gonna have to go up against all these guys on the outside, and you don't really want to be bullied off the spot. So, but again, I gave this an A minus. I think it's criminal that he went at the end of the second round. So. Again, they're killing this draft. I had an A plus, an A minus, and now in the third round at pick 95, I gave them an A plus for this pick. Jordan Battle, defensive back from Alabama. This one's stupid, honestly. I misspelled versatility, which is how stupid this pick is. I don't know how he lasted to pick 95. I had him as my second safety. It was him and Sidney Brown were both really, really close to each other. I had him edging out Sidney Brown, and of course, Brian Branch was my number one guy. He's 6'1", 210 pounds. He can play your nickel backer, your money backer, whatever you want to call it. He can play as your single safety up top. You can bring him down in the box. He's a physical tackler. He's got really good instincts if you want to play him as the robber. I don't think you can put him outside at corner, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had special packages where he was guarding outside. Maybe maybe in the goal line situation or something like that. He's going to start day one for them, and I would honestly, this is a guy that's outside of the first round that I would put some money on for being defensive rookie of the year. So that's how good I think this guy is. And to go at 95 again, I don't know. There's something I don't know about him because I thought this is a guy that should be going in the middle of the second round, maybe early second round. So getting to their fourth round pick, At 131, they took Charlie Jones, the wide receiver from Purdue. This is kind of where I was like, okay, they're regressing to the mean on these picks. They took a wide receiver that I didn't think, was a great athlete. He didn't have great size. He never really ran um, an elite route tree, a complex route tree at Purdue. He was more of a vertical receiver. He ran off the vertical stem, posts, corners, go balls, and that's really all he did. But he does have good hands, um, and I think in the fourth round you find a guy with strong hands that can be a special teamer for you and probably more. Again, I'm probably giving him too hard of a time than it actually should be. I think this is an average pick right here, and he could turn into something. And if he doesn't, again, it's a fourth round pick. So we'll move along to round 5. At pick 163, they took Chase Brown, the running back out of Illinois. I gave this a B minus. I really did think this was a good value for him. He's 5'9", 205 pounds. Got to watch him at the Senior Bowl, and he looked good at the Senior Bowl. There were just some times that it felt like he was trying to do too much. I want to say that it just kind of felt like he was nervous, which is weird because again he played in the Big Ten. He didn't come from a small school. Yes, it's Illinois. It's not an elite Big Ten program, but it's a Big Ten, and you play against Michigan every year and Penn State every year, Ohio State. I mean, he's playing in big time moments, so it was just weird. He had some concentration drops. He had some fumble issues, but all in all, he's a low center of gravity guy. Go ahead, Casey. Here, get past so I can continue. Go this way. Keep going. Keep going. Go. You got it. All right. That's good enough. We'll have to continue like this. So, again, he's got a low center of gravity because of that 5'9", 205, but he's thick. Like he looks like a workout warrior. His arms, you can see in the picture, his thighs, and he's a workhorse. There were multiple games where he was getting 30 plus touches. He doesn't go down with injuries. He's got really good speed as well. He's a home run hitter. There were plenty of times last year especially where he was going for 50, 60, 70 yards, just breaking an inside run, bouncing off a linebacker, and it was just gone. I don't think he's going to be a good pass blocker. I don't think he'll ever be a good pass blocker. He's a guy who's got okay hands at best, and so you can put him out on bubbles or screens, but that's really all you can do with him. All right, we'll go to the next one. Casey, come on, move. There we go. All right, the next pick is one of my favorite of this draft class, I think. In round 6, picks 206, is Andre Yosevis from Princeton. He's a wide receiver. I gave this an A+. I thought he'd go in the 4th round. I had a 4th round grade on him. Again, he's one of the bigger wide receivers in this class. He's 6'3", 205, and you'll put 15 pounds on him with NFL nutrition and strength program. He's good size and strength. Again, you don't really know how well he will do against the NFL because he was playing at Princeton, so the level of play is a little bit smaller. But he has pretty decent hands. And his run after catch is really, really good. He's, again, 6'3". There's probably, I would say, 6 out of the 30 wide receivers drafted in this draft class were, 6'2" or above. So I don't know how he got picked in the 6th and not the 4th, but that's all right. I don't really have much more to say about him other than I'm excited to watch him in the preseason. So another 6th round pick. They took a punter in the 6th round. That's awesome. I love punters in the 6th round. So I gave it a C+. That's an average pick. Good for them. Oh, I also love his mustache. I think it's cool. The bald with the mustache is pretty cool. Going to the 7th round, they got DJ Ivey. He's a defensive back from Miami. He's 6'1", 195 pounds. He blew up the pro day numbers. He looked pretty good. and I think he's going to be a special teamer. He didn't really do much at Miami last year, but he plays special teams. So again, in the 7th round, you get a special teamer, someone that maybe you can have developed to be a guy that can come in a pinch. Worst case or not, he's a special teams ace, or you lose a 7th round pick. So that's all we've got for Cincinnati today. I apologize for KZ coming in here, my cat. But again, I think last draft season we had KZ and Griffin appear a lot, and everyone loved it. So I'm sure you guys loved that too. Go ahead and leave a like. Put down in the comments if you agree with my grades, if I missed anything. And yeah, I think next video, which should be coming out tomorrow, we will be doing the Baltimore Ravens. So I appreciate you guys on this one. I will see you next time. Peace.